refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Doghouse. Welcome back to another episode. I got some really good things to talk about today, but make sure you like, share, subscribe. I am live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. So please like and subscribe on each one as we get closer to 1,000 subscribers and being fully monetized on YouTube. So do whatever you can to make sure that happens. Just give me 1 second, people. And let's get it. As I said, I'm live right now. I got some really good things to talk about today. We got some new people that's going in the doghouse. We got some dogs to talk about today, and I can't wait to get started. We do have some NFL news. The Colts have granted Anthony Edwards a trade request. So if he wants to find another team to go to, he can. You know, young quarterback they drafted out of Florida. He hasn't really done that much, had that much success or been available because of injury. So we'll see what happens with him. There are some teams that are looking for quarterbacks right now, like the Raiders, the Jets, the Steelers. So we'll see where he goes. But you guys let me know in the comment section where you think he might go. But as I said, right now, we're going to go ahead and get into the thick of things as far as Dave's Doghouse. So as you all know, if you are new here, this is kind of what we do as far as Dave's Doghouse. We put people in the doghouse who don't necessarily do too well. And what we call it here is puppy chow. That's what we call it here at Dave's Doghouse on R2L Sports, Refuse to Lose Sports. So, you might be wondering who's going to be put in the doghouse today. Well, we have two teams right now. Right now, this episode is strictly about basketball, except for the big dog. The big dog would probably be a surprise, but maybe not if you watched my show before, because I talk about all sports. But today, the very first person, or should I say the very first team, to be put in the doghouse today is the team that used to have some promise back in the 90s. They have some of the best players to have played in this game. Well, I won't say some, but maybe, two, three. If you hear some of these names, that you'll know exactly what team I'm talking about. Vucevic recently played for this team. Nikola Vucevic, he does not play there anymore. You can think about Luol Deng, who recently played for this team. Jimmy Butler played for this team. Rondo, Dwayne Wade played for this team at one time in his stint. Carlos Boozer played for this team. Derrick Rose. He just got his jersey retired. And of course, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. He's the only person to, well, him and Scottie Pippen were a part of the six championships to bring to Chicago. And that's what I'm talking about today. The Chicago Bulls are clearly in the doghouse. They're on a 10-game losing streak, guys. 10 games. Do you guys know in this 10-game losing streak how bad it's been for these guys? It hasn't been good. Let me just tell you that. They had a recent loss on the 24th to the Charlotte Hornets of 131-99. That's one of the harshest stretches of the season. They haven't won a game in the month of February. The month is almost over. I know that they had the All-Star break within this time, but they haven't won a game at all. There's 2 days left. 2 days left in this month. They have not won a game yet. So let's see if that changes. I don't know. But this is the the fourth longest losing streak in Chicago Bulls history. They had a 105-99 loss to the New York Knicks, along with the recent blowout, of course, to Charlotte Hornets. But they did snap an earlier 7-game skid in December, so who knows? They may have a win coming up soon. We don't know. But right now, they're not winning. They're not winning at all right now. And their longest losing streak was 16 back in 2000, 2001. So are they going to break that, or are they going to make sure it doesn't happen? We'll see. We'll see. They thought that they had a lot of promise this year because they were 5-0 for the first time since the Jordan era, this early this season. But we see that means absolutely nothing right now. It's definitely put them in draft lottery position. So maybe that's something that they could be looking forward to because, they have rarely been in position to have a draft lottery pick and at any time since Jordan left, pretty much. Since they got Derrick Rose, technically. So, we'll see what happens with that. And then they've had a 43-point loss to the Miami Heat on February 1st. I'm a Miami Heat fan, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Miami Heat are not a team that's going to be putting up 130 points a game. It looked like that early in the season, but we all know Miami Heat comes to form, and they pretty much slow it down. So that's what happened with them. They also lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, another double-digit blowout. Lost to the Toronto Raptors, another double-digit blowout. Lost by 9 to the Raptors, then lost by 16 to the Detroit Pistons on the 22nd. So they're not winning a lot of games right now. The last win was January 31st against my Miami Heat. So right before the month started is when they got their last win, and that was their only win against the Miami Heat this season. They are 3-1, 1-3 against the Miami Heat this season. 1-3. They almost got swept. They're just not winning many games. So Chicago Bulls right now, this is where you belong until you find a way to get a winning streak or something like that. You know where you at.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
And I know this next one might be of some kind of surprise to some people because it hasn't really been that bad. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. You have two of the top guys in the NBA on the same team, along with the third guy who's really good scoring. Has had some comparison to Tyler Hero. I have my thoughts on that, but hey, that's my biased opinion. And there ain't too many people that disagree with me. But it's the Los Angeles Lakers. They've had some recent struggles as well. Now, they haven't had like a tremendous losing streak, but compared to what they should be doing, it just doesn't make sense. They've lost multiple games recently, including a heavy loss where they almost lost by 30 to the Chicago Bulls. They lost 111-89 to Boston. The same night, they gave Pat Riley a statue. And he said, he basically was talking trash about Boston during that time. And then next, Boston comes in there and blow them out. It's not good. And then in the tight loss to the Orlando Magic, they lost 110 and 109. They lost by a point, so not too bad. But if you look at how the game was played, they easily should have won that game. At the end of the game, Luka had the ball. He probably had a chance to take a shot, but no, he passed to LeBron James, and LeBron James bricked it. So it doesn't look good. I mean, second half collapses and lapses in defense. It just seems like a reoccurring thing. This just continues to happen, and then he missed one game earlier this month, which may have factored into that. LeBron James missed one game, but I mean, okay. But the net rating for the Lakers when Luka, LeBron, and all three on the floor is not good. It's negative. It's not translating to consistent success with those three guys on the floor. And I know Brian Windhurst has talked about it. A lot of guys have talked about it, but it's just true. It's not looking good for this team at the moment. So that's kind of what's going on right now. There's ongoing trade and roster building talk. I mean, they did just hire Tony Bennett as a draft advisor from the he was with the Virginia Cavaliers. So that's something that may look good for them right now, but that's just that. So it's just offensive inconsistency and decision making that needs to get better for the Lakers. Too many defensive lapses. I mean, rotational depth and bench production issues. It's just a lot that needs to get better with the Lakers. So, you know, like I said, they've lost the last two games against Orlando and Boston. They did win against the Clippers and did win against the Dallas Mavericks, but the Dallas Mavericks are, of course, one of the worst teams in the NBA. So you should win that game. And it's just a mix of wins and losses. It's just it's not consistent enough. So they need to show more consistency. So until you show more consistency, Lakers, this is where you're going to be. And yes, you're in a one of the top six seeds in the West, but you seem to look like you're going down to possibly be in the play-in. So Lakers, get better.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
And that's it for the puppy chow. Now it's time to talk about the dogs of the week. My very first dog of the week is a guy I recently just learned about not too long ago. If you pay attention to CTC Carter and College, he's talked about this guy before. He plays for Arkansas. He's a really good young freshman that plays for John Calipari. You know, I've had my comments about John Calipari, so he may be one of the most overrated coaches in college basketball. He's had a lot of success. Don't get me wrong, as far as getting freshmen to play well and then getting deep into the March Madness and stuff like that. But he only has one championship to speak for himself, and he's been a college coach for a very long time. I mean, he was the coach for Derrick Rose when he was with Memphis, so that should tell you something. And the one championship he got was with Kentucky when he had Anthony Davis. Other than that, he doesn't have a championship to speak for anything. So you got that. This young kid, Darius Acuff, plays for Arkansas. He had a game where he exploded for 49 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. He is consistently scoring over 20 points a game this season. He is one of the elite players in the SEC, one of the elite freshmen right now, and he's in the National Player of the Year conversation, as he should be. He definitely deserves to be. He has been balling out of his mind as of late. He's a dual strength as a scorer and a facilitator, making him one of the best freshman guards in the country. He's top 5 in scoring, top 2 in assists among freshmen nationally this season. He's on the National Player of the Year watch list. So, like I said, he's there. I know his coach just definitely complained about him not being there, but I mean, I guess he ain't paying attention because he's definitely he's in the conversation. He's just really good. He plays very well. He has a very fluid game. Good from 3, good from the mid range. He can drive the ball. He can pass. Doesn't matter what you need him to do on offense. He's going to play, and he's going to play deep into the game, no matter what the stakes are. He the coach literally just said, "Let me tell him to say he's not gonna play in Florida." He gonna say hi. He gonna laugh at it. He's like, "No, I'm going out there to play." We can't say that for some players, and I don't need to name who I'm talking about because everyone knows who that would be. There's only one player in college basketball who has that question about him, so you don't need me to say the name. But he ain't one of those guys. He's going to go out there and play and do whatever it can to make an impact for his team. Shout out to you and welcome to being here for the first time as a dog. Next one is another guy plays for another team in college basketball. I've had issues with his head coach, of course, because his head coach seems to cry a lot about some things, and whatever, doesn't matter. But this young kid, Braylon Mullins, is another one, another freshman who's had a pretty good season this year and has had a pretty good week. Braylon Mullins, people, his average 17 and a half points and 4.5 rebounds across 2 games this week. So it's college basketball. See, it ain't too many games they play during the week. Shot 50% from three, 8 of 16, showing he's efficient. He's shooting efficient. Even in the loss against Creighton, he scored 25 points, including hitting 6 3-pointers, added steals and a block, and he was good all around. And then when against Villanova, he followed up with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, but he played efficiently. He was named the Big East Freshman of the Week, which lets you know how impactful he is as a freshman. This season has a lot of impact with a lot of freshmen. You hear about Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonster, Caleb Wilson. Like this freshman class this year, it's phenomenal. From the guys that start, from the guys that don't start. This is one of the best classes you've seen as a freshman in college basketball history. Is it the best? I still don't know yet, but it's definitely up there. He's not just scoring, but he's doing it efficiently, hitting multiple deep shots, contributing with just points, rebounds, and defense. He's been very consistent this week and very consistent for UConn. So shout out to Braylon Mullins. And then I gotta talk about one of the best things I've seen this year from a team that not a lot of people had to be in this position this season. And I mean, their best player, they call him the alien. He's, to me, should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. I think he's going to be in a position to win it this year. They are the second best team in the Western Conference right now, record-wise. They're a part of 3 teams this season that have won 40 games before they lost 20. And that is the Phil Jackson rule that, hey, you win 20. If you win 40 games before you lose 20, you're an elite team. Only the Detroit Pistons, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the San Antonio Spurs are part of that group. The San Antonio Spurs are on a 10-game winning streak right now. They're 42-16 on the season. How many people had the Spurs being this good right now? Just tell me. Let me know. How many people had them being this good? I don't know. I don't know too many people. I didn't have them being this high. I had them being a playoff team, yes, but I didn't have them being number 2 overall in the Western Conference. I mean, you still got Houston that's there. You still got Denver. You still got the Warriors. I mean, they've had their injuries and stuff like that, but there are other teams in the West that you probably thought would be here. I mean, Minnesota, you thought that maybe they would be there right now. No, it's the Spurs. And then this 10-game win streak, this is their longest win streak since 2015, 2016. So it's been about 10 years since they had a win streak like this. And then last night, they were on the brink of losing and not having a 10-game win streak. They were on a 9-game win streak before last night, and they were down 15 in the game, and they came back and won the game. Devin Vassell in that game, him and D Fox both had 20 points. Vassell had 21 points over Vassell, and De'Aaron Fox had 20 points. They both led the team in scoring in that game. These guys are balling this year. And then, Wemby. Wemby is balling. Wemby's doing everything you need him to do. Stephen Castle is showing you why he's a really good point guard in the league and why he was highly sought coming out of UConn. 10-game win streak. These are the games that they won. Orlando Magic, February 4th. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Dallas Mavericks in back-to-back games. Lakers, Warriors, Suns, Kings, Pistons, most recently. And the Raptors. These are some good teams. OKC, they've owned them all year. And then they just beat the best team in the East and the Detroit Pistons. The Spurs look legit. And this is what Greg Popovich not being the head coach anymore. He's in the front office. And shout out to Pop for making this decision to go up because he had a health scare the last couple of seasons. Definitely glad that he's doing a lot better right now. And just look at what his team is doing for him. The Spurs are playing phenomenal basketball right now. They've had key contributors, like I said, Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, Dylan Harper. He came off the bench in that game and put 15-7 on the board for them. And then Castle and Julian Champagne. These guys are playing very well this year. And shout out to them because, what more can you say about the Spurs, man? The Spurs are one of the best teams in the NBA, second best team in the Western Conference. They like that, man. Shout out to the Spurs. Next, before I get to the very last big dog, this young guy has been on here before. I've talked about him multiple times before. He's one of the best young guards in the league. Plays for a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals some years ago. Has a guy on the team who was a former MVP. Another guy who was a, former star, former superstar, whatever you want to consider it, when he was with Indiana. Played with OKC. He's with the Clippers recently. And now he's in Philly. And even with the injuries and all the stuff that's going on, this guy still continues to shine. Had a younger guard that was with him before, and he got traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder and Jerry McCain. But let's look. I'm talking about Tyrese Maxey, y'all. Tyrese Maxey had a recent game where he put 39 points and added 8 assists in a game where they won 135-108 to help them snap a losing skid. He knocked down big shots, controlled the game as the primary playmaker, and then in another victory against the Pacers, had put 32 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, shot efficient, led the team in the offense. Even in the recent loss, he was filling the stat sheet, showing he's consistently productive. Whether they win or lose, Tyrese Maxey is going to show up in every single game. If they just let him run it, you see how successful they can be. Now, of course, this all depends on Joel Embiid being healthy, and same thing with Paul George, and then playing consistently and just doing whatever they can to contribute to this team. But Tyrese Maxey, he a baller. So, like I said, Maxey is able to set the tone and handle the ball while, Embiid is, coming back from injury, still recovering. He's averaging elite numbers this year, about 29 points per game, 6 or 7 assists, which, it shows you how impactful his game is. So, Tyrese Maxey, again, man, one of my favorite young players to watch. Dawg. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about the big dog. The big dog in all sports for me this week. You can combine it from the last 2 weeks, but it's really just two teams. Two teams in a totally different sport. I know y'all been watching the Winter Olympics has been going on, but I don't know if there's been much coverage of this that I haven't really seen much of. Yes, I know there was a little segments here and there talking about it, but I got to talk about it too. Something that we haven't seen in a very long time. The USA men and women have won gold in hockey. The USA men and women have won gold in hockey. USA women's ice hockey won gold, beating Canada 2-1 in overtime thanks to an overtime goal by Megan Keller. And then the men's national team also beat Canada 2-1 in overtime with Jack Hughes scoring the game-winning goal. That was the first Olympic gold for the U.S. since 1980. It's been 46 years since the U.S. men's has won gold in the Olympics. It was the famous Miracle on Ice. Connor Hellebuck was stellar. He made 41 saves in that game, which made the tournament unbeaten. And it was record viewership with over 20 million people watching this game on NBC. The women finished the tournament undefeated, 7-0, and outscored opponents 33-2. 33-2. Do y'all understand how dominating that is? 33-2? That is crazy. Hillary Knight scored the late regulation game to force OT and became the all-time U.S. Olympic hockey scorer with 15 goals and 33 points. All-time great. Hillary Knight, baller, dog. This was the third Olympic hockey goal in program history for the U.S. women. So this is a rare double goal in hockey. It's one of the most memorable moments from the 2026 Winter Olympics. It was one of the best things I have seen in a very long time. Jack Hughes, of course, hero of the tournament for the men's. He tied the team lead in points for 7 points in 6 games. Scored 4 goals across the semifinals and gold medal games combined. Played through adversity. The man got a stick to his face during the gold medal and lost 2 teeth and still delivered this historic goal. Like, the man was outstanding. And then Connor Hellebuck, he was a tournament MVP for a reason. MVP level goalie. He stopped 41 of 42 shots. This was awesome to see. Shout out to USA for winning gold in men's and women's hockey, and shout out to them, man. Let's got to give it up to them. Dogs, big dogs. That concludes Dave's Doghouse for this week. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Do whatever you can to help this channel get to 1,000 subscribers and be fully monetized so I can keep giving you more content and upgrade the content that I give you. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time. Peace out. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.